Hey everybody, happy to see you guys. Just a quick thought or insight I would like to share with you today. It's something personal and important and beautiful, and I just would like to bring it up and share what you think about it. So, why do we feel uncomfortable after we open up to somebody or getting real close? What happens? Why is that as soon as we start feeling an emotion, as soon as we start to really connect with someone, we pull back, or we try to hide our eyes, or we close back, we go right back into our shell. You know how sometimes you really connected with somebody and maybe you had a heartfelt conversation and maybe you cried in that conversation, and something happened at that moment when you connected truly. That's, to me, is like the best because it means it had power, and it had a good effect on our soul, because we often are so much hiding in our shells. We're afraid to get close. In Russian and Ukrainian culture, we have it like a nighttime talk. Is when we sit in the kitchen drinking tea and we just talk about everything, like all the things inside of us. There is not so much culture of going to, psychologists and counselors. Usually, people who are very close, maybe some personal crisis had happened, and a friend can call you in the middle of the night and say, "Hey, I need to talk." Usually it's about feelings, it's about something very personal. And with close friends, I think it's maybe easier to open up, and when you know somebody for the long time. But I just noticed that people avoiding to be in a way alive, people avoiding to let themselves feel. It's like if they know that certain person or certain situation will lead them to be emotional, sometimes they avoid it. And as long as I understand that, we have to operate with our mind, I think emotions are like a natural GPS. When we are connecting instantly with somebody, something beautiful happens. Whether it's in a family or, you meet someone new and you feel this instant connection. Sometimes it's the most beautiful thing, because we were brought on this planet, or, importantly, to connect. So, what is your opinion, guys? Why is that sometimes, we're so afraid to say too much or to show somebody that we really care? Like, I noticed it's almost shameful to let somebody know that you care about them. Especially in the modern culture, it's cool to show indifference, even if you dating somebody, or, I would say another word, even if you like having sex with somebody or sleeping, like in US, sometimes I don't understand whether people are in relationship or not, because if they have sex, it doesn't always mean that people are in a relationship. And so if you show here that you care, you really care, often people would start mistreating you. So I actually have questions to you guys, like, what does it mean and where does it come from? I really don't get that. I think, I mean, I don't like it at all. So, yes, I would say, my, kind of view on this, if you can open up with a person, if you can take all your masks, all your roles, all your hats, all your guards off, that person is an angel, and keep that person in your life. Be with that person. If you can't totally be yourself, if you can show your wounds, if you can show your, vulnerability, where you maybe feeling some pain and you just can show it and feel fine, that is such a beautiful sign that you are with your person. And the other one is, well, I mean, the opposite is right too. If you cannot be yourself, if you cannot show affection, if you can't show that you care, you can't show who you really, really are with the person that you live with, there is something seriously wrong. Because there should be nobody else closer to you than the person, you share a life with, you share a bed with, you share every day with. There is something entirely wrong if you cannot do that. Because that's the purpose of being together. Yeah, it is. It really is. So, I just been noticing this a lot, that people would rather be sometimes in a miserable relationship or not so happy where they don't feel anything. It's kind of like flat line, rather than be somewhere where they feel emotions, where they feel alive, where they where they can feel, you will be also feeling pain, but you will feel a lot of love. And a lot of people so much afraid to come alive, they afraid they will be in pain, so they don't want to open up, they don't want to discover who they are. They just, if they see that something comes out, something that makes them feel, maybe it's even a song on the radio, that makes them feel, or maybe it's a performance in the theater, they would not go, they would close the door, just because supposedly, you're protecting yourself. But remember, when you're protecting yourself from pain, when you're going back to your shell, you're also protecting yourself from happiness. You're protecting yourself of who you were meant to be. Because when you completely open and you can be truly yourself, this when you are who you're meant to be. When there are no guards, no masks, no screens, so yeah, I basically put a few topics here in the video, but I just want to say I've noticed that, people would rather be dead emotionally rather than, being a little bit hurt or being vulnerable. And I think personally it's boring. It's so boring to not let yourself feel, because that is the most incredible thing that God gave us, is our ability to feel, our ability to experience high emotions, our ability to expand inside of us. Like as a mom, I know, for example, a power of unconditional love when you love a child. So this is where you look the same outside, but inside you expand. So yes, guys, something to think about. I was just, it's a holiday time. I was observing people, how beautiful when people can come together and open up and really talk. That's one thing I miss the most about being in Ukraine, is to having conversations that would make us laugh and cry. Seriously, there is something happens. I think when you really open up with somebody, your soul clears up. With those tears, you clearing up your soul, you clearing up your mind and your heart. Yes. Somebody say that eyes that never cried cannot be beautiful. I so agree with that. I think what differentiates us with from many other creatures is that our ability to feel. So, what do you guys think? Do you think it's important to have someone and with who you can open up? Are you the person that's share things, or are you one of those people that hide behind the sick wall, and you always like a robot, always on autopilot, always hiding and never show up and never show your vulnerable things? I know men tend to do this more, and I've noticed that. And I think our partners needs to see positive feedback from us. If your man or your woman really needs to talk and she really needs to cry, let them do that. And reassure them with positive feedback. Let them know that that's okay and that you understand. Like, make them feel good. And it's really an honor when person you love, person that is special to you, open up to you. It means that they trust you. So it's super important to be positive and just give them that beautiful sense of reassurance, rather than after their weak spots, hurt those spots. I think it's a wonderful sign when you can be very, very open with your most close people. It's a sign of a beautiful relationship. So let's be more open with people that we love. And let's be more ourselves. Let's be people who can feel. Let's not to be zombies going around town. That's all I have to say, guys. Share your thoughts. I know a lot of you afraid to be vulnerable, but sometimes the only way, to get real connection is to open up yourself first, to let yourself be who you really are. Thank you.